It's a matter of life and death. There's been a war going on in West Africa for 2 years now. It's a civil war between the Biafrans and the Nigerians. We're not going to say which side is right or which side is wrong, except that all war is always wrong. No matter whose fault it is that thousands are dying every day, it isn't his fault.
A hero is someone who has given his or her life for something greater than oneself. As Biafrans celebrate 30th May this year, we pay tribute to those who have given their lives. We salute you soldiers, men, women and children who gave their lives for our freedom.
Sambola mama takumanem. Sambola mama takumanem.
This message is from BVI, Channel 1.
Hello, my esteemed viewers, I welcome you. This is BVI Channel 1, and I bring you on this live program, People's Parliament. And as usual, I have my friend, my brother, joining me from America, our usual guests who have been making a lot of exposition on the issue of Biafra, the conspiracy against the Biafra freedom and the Biafran people and all of that. And today we are looking into the 30th May. Like I said yesterday on my live program, I said that we'll be talking about the 30th May, the significance of 30th May. And today we are focusing our attention on, beaming our light towards the Biafran genocide and its link with the Jewish massacre. And today I have him right here to make such exposition and to bring to us what he knows from this, vast knowledge. Hello, sir. You're welcome back again on BVI Channel 1, People's Parliament.
Yeah. I greet all the whole people of the world, I greet all of them in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. I bring the peace and the love of our Lord Jesus Christ to you all. Depending on your time zone, I say welcome to this wonderful edition again that promised to be another full-packed edition. I am, like always, my name is Chinyere Ezo. I am the income writer, the messenger of the message of the carcass that is actually gathering the echoes of God at this very, very serious time that we are in, especially in giving them the revelation of the present truth. And I pray that the Lord will give them the necessary discernment to understand the signs, of the time that we live in. Welcome to the program.
All right, thank you. No, you don't have to waste much time. Let's go straight to the point. Now, we're talking about 30th May. What is your take on 30th May, the Biafra Day? Before we now go down to the linkage between the Biafra genocide war or the genocide against the Biafran people and the links with the Jewish massacre. Let's have a opinion.
Yeah, you see, I don't know. Welcome. I very much understand exactly what you're saying. And in fact, it's opening up on a very explosive note, because what you want me to begin with is very, very controversial. But I'm somebody who doesn't shy away from saying the truth, because at the end of the day, the most important thing to me is that, the life of the people will be saved. I pray that God will give me the necessary quality to approach this particular topic. And I cover this program with the blood of Jesus. Anything that will come to hinder it, we take authority over it. I will bind them, I will cast them into the Atlantic. Let the Spirit of God arise and shine and take control of this program in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. So this particular program, I will dedicate it to all those unfortunate people that were massacred in that war. Even for our brothers that are being detained, people like Benjamin Omuka, a lot of them, there's this one in Nigeria, Sheikh Torugad. A lot of our boys are here. And on the memory part, now, if I should, your question is even timely. There was a book I was reading. Let me just show you this book. And that is what is repeating itself. This book was written by, just one thing I just want to say about the book, it was written by Dan Jacobs, Let me just go memory lane a little bit about the book. to refresh your memory. Now, let me a little bit about the author. Dan Jacobs, this is let me just read about him. It says Dan Jacobs has had long experience in international affairs and politics as a speechwriter for Hubert Humphrey and other public figures, as a political analyst with the Senate Subcommittee on Disarmament, and as a writer on social development for the United Nations and other organizations. He was educated at Harvard and formerly conducted a daily interview program background on Station Boston. He served as executive director of the Committee for Nigeria Biafra Relief and recently prepared a study for UNICEF on the predicament of children in wars. He lived in New York City. I have to give his background for you to know the authority that I'm saying. Now, just read the cover of the book I want to read. He said, look at the title of the book is The Brutality of Nations by Dan Jacobs. He said, how in pursuit of political objectives in the Nigerian Civil War, a number of great and small nations, including Britain and the United States, worked to prevent supplies of food and medicine from reaching the starving children of rebel Biafra. This is an international write-up, so it's not like Biafrans made it up. Now, let me just read it, just the cover only. It says, Biafra, 1968. The first of Africa's tragic famines. Some 2 million people starved, mostly children, as the Red Cross and other agencies were prevented from providing enough food for a besieged population. Now, in The Brutality of Nations, Dan Jacob gives us an extraordinary account of how several governments colluded in the campaign to keep relief from reaching the Biafrans, thus prolonging the famine for 2 years. In the midst of this first great explosion in post-colonial Africa, the highly educated Igbos, massacred in other parts of Nigeria, sought safety in independence. Other Nigerians blockaded them, then went to war to keep the Biafrans from seceding with the oil riches of the nation. Soon cut off from their usual sources of food, the smallest Igbo children began starving. UNICEF, Oxfam, and other agencies attempted to ration food, and Dan Jacobs makes clear for the first time how this international effort was thwarted. He takes us to Washington, where a handful of men in the State Department managed to deflect the sentiments of Hubert Humphrey, Richard Nixon, and other Americans who favored humanitarian aid for the beleaguered people to the United Nations, where Secretary General Rutan adopted a correct diplomatic stance, avoiding international intervention, to London, where the government of Prime Minister Harold Wilson resisted pressure to cut off British arms supply to the Nigerian federal government, fearing that to do so would cause the Nigerians to turn to the Soviet Union. Jacob revealed how, as the terror mounted in Biafra to 12,000 deaths by starvation each day, the British used the International Committee of the Red Cross as an unwitting pawn to mislead the world about just who was obstructing the relief agency in their attempt to relieve food into Biafra. How, when enough food finally did begin to get through, the Nigerian and the British, still determined to halt the relief, resorted to such measures as shooting down a Red Cross plane. And how, after the war ended, as starvation continued, a few U.S. State Department officials stood in the way of a new relief initiative, leaving tens of thousands more to die. Dan Jacob, who was the United Nations spokesman at the time of the war and later helped organize the private American effort to enlarge the area, spent years interviewing government and relief officials to uncover the fact of this man-made disaster. He presents his often shocking findings with clarity and objective in a report that is highly instructive, especially in light of recent American intervention in the affairs of other nations and the controversies surrounding the problem of continuous starvation in Africa. But this is also the long overdue story of a very particular tragedy and the cruel example of the ways in which the interests of government can be at profound odds with the need of human beings. So what we are seeing is history repeating itself. Like the white man said, he said, we are into, politics of today is history of yesterday. Politics of yesterday was, is today's history. So we are into history repeating itself. That is what actually is staring us in the eye. And those who forget their history are condemned to repeat it. That is the point. And why is all these things happening? Why all these things is happening is this. People don't understand. The Old Testament and the New Testament are the same thing. The difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament is like when in those days when we are young, when all this technology have not developed to the stage where it is today. In those days, when you go to a photographer and you take a photograph or something like that, you go through a process. The photographer watch it, maybe out of youthful enthusiasm or all that. Every time you go to the photographer, you want to see a picture, the photographer will go to the bucket and show you where the picture is. When you pleasure him, the photographer will bring the picture out. And when you look at that picture, the negative will look so dark and so ugly because it has not been washed. The same thing that looks so dark and ugly, by the time you go the next 1 hour or 2 hours, when it has been washed, you see it's sparkly beautiful. So what am I saying? The Old Testament is dark shadow. It's like the negative picture when it has not washed. So the New Testament is the clearer picture of the same old negative that you're seeing. So what exactly you see in the Biafran issue, like the topic we are holding before, that is the affinity between the Jews of Israel and the Igbos. It is the same thing. It is the Old and the New Testament. The story of the Israelites in the Old Testament is the story of the Israelites in the Old Testament. We are now in the refined projection of the New Testament. That is what is happening. So what you see happening in the Biafran issue is exactly what is happening happened before, to confirm that the Old Testament is and the New Testament are the same, to confirm that Jesus is God. That is what is happening. So when direct your question, because I have to lay this particular background, because later on I will see by God's grace, if there's enough time, we have to conclude that affinity between the Niger Delta and the Igbos and the Israelis in diaspora.
We're having issues. Hello. I think we are not getting you through. I think we are losing him. If you're just watching, we lost him. We lost the connection. We hope to bring him right back again. This is BVI Channel 1, and we are on a live program.
That we hold lot most. Because the issue of the 30th, sit down at home at the 30th, is already sacrosanct. It's immutable. It's immutable. And, I like to apply solutions to issues. I don't like, when I'm talking, I don't apply solutions. It's immutable. And like when they were talking about the prescribed Ohanes and all that, I was the one who inspired the prescription of Ohanes and the Southeastern governors. People hijacked it, went to the rooftop and implemented it, but they don't know the reason why I inspired that. If you look at the message I preached a day on the eve of the Anambra election, that was where it came up, because they betrayed the leader. I tried to compare the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOP, with Jesus Christ, before the Pontius Pilate. When Pontius Pilate told them that this man is innocent, let me release Jesus. Between Jesus and Barabbas, whom do you want us to release? They said the thief is better. Release Barabbas. What do you want to do? What do you want us to do with this man Jesus? That crucify him. That was what the Ohanese did with the Eastern governors against Nnamdi Kanu, in those days when they prescribed IPOB and all that. Now you prescribe IPOB. Take them to court and hear their case. You cannot hear their case. But the same Buhari who killed 3 Satanas, when he was made head of state, when he committed treason by overthrowing Shagari's administration, killed 3 Satanas. One Igbo guy was there and 2 Yoruba guys, Odipende and all that, for trafficking in cocaine. He shot them. But look at the 2 Muslim girls, one Muslim girl and 1 Muslim boy that we are caught in Saudi Arabia for cocaine. The same government went and rearranged it they told you a gang planted. No gang planted. The people were the carrier. They were the carrier. These were people that would have faced death in Saudi Arabia. But immediately, what did they do? The Nigerian High Commission is still the effort they made. They brought up the gang that are in Kaduna. Gang that are in Kaduna. Did you show the gang that are in Kaduna? Did you see any press carry them? Do you see them? How was that? Were they sentenced? You didn't hear anything. Just like when they claim the Fulani killed Bade. Have you heard about the Fulani who they say killed Bade today? But even there was another kidnapper and all that. You see how all the press even went to his wife, they took photographs, went to all his matrimonial homes and all that. Did you hear any of those things there? Or were you? But then at the end of the day, the girl, where is his name, Abubakar or what, with that girl, they were, the federal government still paid them 3 million people that carry drugs. So that's what we are saying. So I was the one who inspired why the Southeastern governors, why Uchemofo went on air and all that and say he proscribed them and all that. You proscribe them. When you proscribe them, what do you do with them? We have to start taking power from our governors. We must tell our governors what they will do. That is the essence of my inspiring that message. And we are going to start today. Since they are controlled by fear of what Buhari or whatever we do to them, we are going to show them that they are going to face greater fear from us. Therefore, we must reverse that fear and we must hold them captive. And we must make them do our way, whether they like it or not. They must do our way. So the first thing we must do is we must take our possession of our place. And we must start now. How do we start? We want the whole Southeastern governors to declare May 30th as a public holiday, whether they like it or not. The ones that we declare, let them declare. The ones that we not declare, we have already opened the black book. Their name is there, and we are going to deal with them. When Biafra,
we are losing him again. I think the network is really biting, but we are going to continue. This is still BVI Channel 1. We are battling with network. And our guest is still around, but we are trying to get him to continue with his exposition on this issue on 30th May. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click on the notification button so that you'll be getting notification anytime we are live. I think we have him back.
They can be free. I hope you're hearing me.
Go on, we can hear you.
For 100 years. Not to start. So that May 30th, that's what's up. The issue of May 30th is not even what I have in mind. Because, you see, I'm not a controversial person. Like IPOP, there is no way you talk about the issue of Biafra that you don't do IPOP. Because that is a fist tumbler that if we don't settle, we are going to get into a very big problem. Let me tell people if they don't understand. You see, starvation is a personal risk. Nobody will be there on the day of judgment. I don't want to start to go and make a statement that will be seen as controversial. But let me, before I say what I want to say, I want us to retract some yesterday of IPOP, for instance. Let us retract their yesterday, just oppose it with today, to get a clear indication of what tomorrow will look like. Now, if you are retracting their yesterday, is no referendum, no voting. And later on, go and vote. Now, let's analyze. No referendum, no voting. Now, you say you want to boycott. When you boycott, you have voted for the opponent. That was number one. You have voted for the opponent. And now you voted. When you voted, what happened? The same man is in power. And what is the implication? The implication is you are going to enjoy him for the next 4 years. That is number one. But if that idea of formula of wall of Jericho have been accepted and that election is shut up, you will now have a moral ground to continue today because the election would have been boycotted. Your own position would have been that you are not interested in the election, and the election, you did not recognize the election. I told you up to today, I did not recognize the election. That election cannot be recognized, and you cannot get Buhari in based on that election. There is no way you can do it. How much did they spend in the election? The election cost almost, according to Parliament, what? About 250 billion naira. That was what the election cost. In 2015, Buhari himself said that technology made him to win. It was the card reader that made him to win. That was what he said, which was a lie anyway. Now, in your own term, you did not allow that technology. And you know, Nigerian election, when Senate approved all this, when they went to the Senate and the issue of a card reader and all that was accepted, it was accepted based on the condition that every person the card reader for its authenticity. That is, anybody that doesn't go through the card reader, I mean, it's not entitled to vote. That was the essence of the card reader. And then now the card reader is to work with the server. It transfers result to the server. And INEC from their own mouth came up and said that the result is not in their server, which means INEC did not conduct any election. So basically, there is nothing in this world that will make Buhari to be sworn in as a matter of based on this election. It cannot. It cannot be recognized. So how does it connect to what I'm talking about, INEC? There are opportunities that come in once in a lifetime. Once in a lifetime. And you must, as a matter of necessity, consummate that opportunity within the span of his lifetime, because if you miss it, you're finished. That was what happened to Jonathan in 2015. I was related to his handlers. I was the one who told him that the card reader is a lock within a lock. I revealed everything to him. I didn't see him directly. I told his handler. I told them that if they want, let them go and do a trial run of the card reader, and they will see what will happen. But they should not allow Jega to do that trial run. But you know, Jonathan, I don't have any regard for him. He's the one that got into all this problem. In his own cowardice, he still went ahead and allowed the same Jega to do the trial run of the card reader. And you saw what happened with the trial run. God, in a lot of sequences, gave him chances to escape the people from this contraption called Nigeria. But because of his own personal interest, it could not subsume his own personal interest. So when they tried to compare him with Jesus, they were now lie. Instead of, even at that particular time, instead of organizing a sovereign constitutional conference or whatever, that the people will have authority to decide what they want, decide their own constitution. Because the document of amalgamation of Nigeria have hit a centenary during his period. Therefore, it is not and it has been disqualified. Therefore, any people that do not agree for this work, did not agree from that, sovereign constitutional conference, is to attend Israel. But he missed that opportunity because of his selfish interest. How can you do heavy mass mobilization at the same time? He wanted to do conference. He didn't do a sovereign constitutional conference. He said he wanted to do a national conference. He went on a national conference. The same tendencies and the same inclination, that the same thing that you need to do the conference is the same thing you need for election. Mass mobilization. Is it easy? So to placate these people, he went and put them in all sorts of places, built all sorts of food, did everything to please them, hoping that he will come back. Then what happened? What happened? They tricked him. Where is he today? So even in that election, God still went to the extent of how many machines, how many candidates did Jonathan at Ethiopia? How many? More than 5 card readers did not recognize the fingerprint of #1 citizen. That was an opportunity for him to disburse that election, bust it up. But look at it. He got us all into trouble. That is where we are today. Now, how does it relate to IPOP? IPOP missed this chance, but not by cutting this election. Now we have come again. Nature has presented another opportunity for us because now the Igbo did not participate in the election. We are not allowed to vote in Lagos State. I want people to think with their sense of imagination, not sentimental issues, and get up fast. We were not allowed to vote, and we now see that the election did not take place. Buhari militarized everywhere against the constitution of Nigeria. You saw what happened in River State. You saw what happened everywhere. At the end of the day, INEC completed results and found that place and bring it and trying to force it the throat of Nigerians to accept. And everybody is keeping quiet. So Buhari cannot be sworn in. Anything you want to sworn, how can you swear Buhari in? I will still come to that. Let me not digress. Now another opportunity has come for IPOP. The sacrosanct nature of the 30th May is unquestionable. Everybody have accepted it. That is not even the issue. The issue, like I have told you, is that I said we should secure the bridgehead of Biafra before the 30th May. And how do we secure the bridgehead of Biafra? 30th May is already there. It's not the issue. The issue is that we must put up a protest that we reject Buhari swearing in. It doesn't matter if they swear him in or not. So the other sitting at home should not start on 30th. Since our people love money too much, they love money too much. I swear to God Almighty, that money they will not even spend a dime in that money. Because it's already upon them. It's already upon them. 4 days to that swearing in. 4 days to that swearing in. Let our people shut down everywhere. In the last edition, I was telling you, let them not go to church. And others, they think I'm joking. Now go and look at it in Kaduna, go and check the paper is here. Amen abducted the choir people in the church, shot some. Go and look at it. I said, let them avoid overcrowded places. It's viewing center, go and look at it. All these things are in the news. They went in the news and viewing centers and that. All those things are rehearsed. The bombing in Sri Lanka are done by the same people. Their prime minister or what is involved in that bombing. That was why he was hiding the information. He did not want to release it that it is the same jihadists, ISIS. They were the people that do it. Why did they do it? They are only rerunning. They are only being trial run for what they have already said for Nigeria. Which will be, after all these things, I will reveal that I told you that John Kerry's speech is where this jihad was ordered. And we have to decode it, as time goes on, so that these people will be prosecuted. I've always told you that the bringing Biafra is in the hands of America, especially Biafrans in diaspora, especially the ones in America. And in the last edition, I mentioned a lot of messages. These are criminal messages, incriminating things that this guru should stand up, start to take Obama to court, start to take John Brennan to court, start to take Obasanjo to court. I'll still come to Obasanjo, start to take all of them, John Kerry them, start to take them to court, massively all over the world. That is one area how we are going to extricate ourselves. Now, if you go to sit at home on the 30th of May, and Buhari is sworn in on 29th. Now, look at it, oh. Immediately, Buhari is sworn in on 29th. On the 30th, the same day, Buhari is attending OIC meeting. They have already registered Nigeria in OIC meeting. What is he going there to do? People don't know. All those, when I was reading, pipeline, they promised all these European countries and more than 28 African countries, they promised them free gas of Nigeria, Nigerian free gas for the next 28 years, I think the next 25 years, free of charge, so that they will all help them to fight and demolish our people. I told you this war, nothing can prevent this war. I told you this war is the reason why even God created this war. By the time we will go to the I will call it the human code of the family, the family code of the human history. By the time we go to talk about how the Israelites relate, I will show you why these things are immutable, why this war must happen. So I have already gone to pay them. The issue of the money he paid to the plot and paid to Fulani herdsmen and all that, that is mobilization of people, their resettlement. What are they going to do? Immediately Buhari is sworn in. Let me tell you what Buhari is going to do. I've already told you that the agenda is to turn, immediately they convert Nigeria to Islamic nation. The next thing is the whole West Africa will be Islam. They will overrun the Christian communities in the whole West Africa and make it a one block West Africa. The whole West Africa will become Islamic nation. That is the same thing they will do all over the world. That is the Antichrist system that the world is talking about. So the money he paid to Mieti Allah and all that, what was the money for? The money is for their mobilization and resettlement. What are they going to do? All these people, their families are in the east. They will start with all these villages and all that. When they are killing you, they are using that money that I paid to them to resettle their families. Bring their families in, they will be. Most of them are speaking Igbo. They become the indigenous of that place. They take over. That is how they wipe you out. By the time they have finished, you said you want a referendum or that. They are working in collaboration with United Nations. United Nations will tell you, so okay, referendum. But then all of you are gone. If you are here, you call your family, they tell you, say, come. They tell you, come. You go there, by the time you go, they bring you in and butcher you and bury you. That is all. So the jihad is already on. There have been instances of changing of tactics because of the revelations we are making here. That is why there have not been massive slaughter. Because each thing they do, we reveal it and they change their tactics. Initially, they wanted P2B to take over. They wanted Atiku Abubakar and P2B to take over after their massacre and all that. But because there was no resistance from the people, that was why they did not hand over to Atiku and P2B. Then what was the next thing they did? They now plotted to do an interim government which they want to use Goodluck Jonathan, which I told you about, which we revealed here. And after they will kill, Goodluck Jonathan and kill Asari Dokubo in their coded speech. That coded speech, I need even to repeat it so that they will see how these things are coded, so that they will know. I said it last time, but when I listened to it, it didn't come up. Let me just read an instance of that coded speech before I digress, so that you can understand how they did. Let me read, I've read it before, but let me just read it, that coded speech that was coded in the video that they released in 2016 as Shekayu video. Let me just say it. He said, for instance, I'm quoting them now. For instance, the statement to which, when Malam Omar was going to honor Shekau's invitation, he called me and explained that Shekau has sent for him. But he has sent words pleading for forgiveness. When he told me, I said he should believe in Allah and submit to his faith. When Omar went, Shekau came out, asked for a knife and the dagger, very close to the river. Shekau killed Omar. That is the coded signal. Now, what is interpretation? My own interpretation of that coded signal is a direct order for the elimination of former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan in Bayelsa State. People have been assigned to murder him. When Malam Omar, that is President Jonathan, I'm interpreting it, was going to Abuja, Shekau, that is Buhari, he said, believe in Allah and submit to his faith. Refers to when Boko Haram asked the then President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan to convert to Islam in order to get peace from them. Shekau here, Kono's assassin, dedicated to assassinate Jonathan, came out and asked for a knife and a dagger very close to the river. That is their quote. Very close to the river means Jonathan in Bayelsa State, very close to River State, and killed Omar and assassinated President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Another instance is the comment. Is it not you? I'm quoting them. Is it not you that killed Mujahid? Is it not you that killed Omar? Is it not you that killed Abu Mariam? Abu Mariam and Mujahid were killed together by you. What did they do to you? Can people tell you the truth? That is the end. What is the decoding of this thing? It's a coded signal. The decoding is order for the assassination of the three personalities mentioned. Mujahid, assassination of Asari Dokubo. Omar, we have seen is President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Abu Maria means the patient Jonathan. Abu Maria means Abuja Madam. all of them in one location of Bayelsa State. Have you seen the decode? So because of the anachronistic nature of this thing, it had been planned a long time ago. They put it inside the cooler. Now is the time for them to implement it. So what they will do, they bring it out. That was why they wrote that to Asari to read. So when Asari finished reading it, they will kill Asari. When the interim government comes in, they will kill them and they will make it as if it is the Igbos that did it, and the permanent enmity will come. So these are some of the things that they do. But what am I saying? Buhari, IPOB, 4 days to that, we should start to say that we did not recognize Buhari as the president of this country because he did not win any election. If Nigeria can execute Gideon Oka, an honorable man for executing a coup, Buhari should face firing squad with all those scabbers. Buhari, not only the treason of overthrowing Shagari's regime, have gone in alliance with international conspirators, with ISIS. Buhari, mind you, is a retired major general. He's a retired army general, who have consistently told us that Boko Haram is technically defeated. Who have consistently told us that ISIS is not coming to Nigeria. Who have consistently refused to release the number of Biafrans they are massacring in the north. Why are they clearing the north? Because they want to clear up any internal conspirators they will see. They put Boko Haram there, use them, send our boys, Biafran soldiers in the north, release Boko Haram, pay them, you see them, put and all that, pay them money. You see in the adoption of the cheap gas and all that. They pay them money, pay terrorist money, be slaughtering our boys, so that by the time they will come for their jihad, which is now, they will brook no opposition. Nobody will be there to challenge us. All the people that will defend us are finished. We have seen how Buhari held a meeting with terrorist organizations, represented by his service chiefs, and paid them money. Only the part of holding that meeting at all is a treasonable act. When I was telling you about who carried cocaine, it did not take Nigerian government 3 days or 4 days. They said they have finished, they have prosecuted the people, they have prosecuted the gang who planted the cocaine in the bag of the girl and the Abubakar. 3 days it took them. They forwarded the report to Saudi Arabia, and those people were released and they gave them money. The IPOB they proscribed. How long now? Have they had the case today? Have they had the case today? Now let me tell you what happened in Kaduna. Just only one document. One document in Kaduna. Because only the one thing I just want to read about Kaduna. Very, very important. Only one document. And let me see why Buhari, if the International Criminal Court failed to prosecute, arrest Buhari, Buratai, and Erofai, if they fail to arrest them and imprison them, that what is the Chibuari, whatever it is, that president of ICC, what Fulani herdsmen and Boko Haram are doing to people, that will be what Biafrans will do to him and his family. If he fails it, until the kingdom come, his family descendants will walk in the mortuary forever and ever. Let me tell you what Buhari, what they are reloading. Let me just show you. Only one document I will do. Let me show you. Only one document. It's a death toll in Kaduna killing, rises to 130. As police arrest 11 suspects. This is Guardian of February 19, 2019. I always like to present my argument as a legal argument that people can use it as legal documents. Now, I'm reading the paper. It said Kaduna State Governor Nasi Erofai on Tuesday said about 130 persons died in Kajuri villages attack and not 60 as he previously announced. Who is saying this? El-Rufai himself. El-Rufai on Friday, February 15, said, just yesterday, I got a report of the killing of about 66 Fulani at Maru in Kajuri local government. However, after a Security Council meeting presided over by Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari in Abuja, El-Rufai said the number of casualties was reviewed upwards. The governor said names and photographs of those killed will soon be made available to the press. Who are those kids? They say they are Fulani. They have the names, they have the photographs. But all these ones, they are massacring everywhere. We don't have their names, we don't have their photographs. Now look at it. The latest report shows that over 130 people were killed, not even 60. We have the list, and we will release it to the media. The affected communities have provided us with the names of those that were killed, El-Rufai said. The Security Council meeting, which lasted for an hour, was attended by El-Rufai, Shetima, that is Borno State Governor, and members of the country's National Security Council. El-Rufai said the killing was a deliberate plan to wipe out a certain community, that is the Fulani community. He did not mention any sponsors of the attack. The governor, who added that anybody questioning whether the attack took place or not is grossly irresponsible, assured that the perpetrators of the killing would be made to face the full wrath of the law. Also, Kaduna State Police Commissioner Ahmed Abdullahiman said a total of 11 suspects have been arrested in connection with, in connection with the killing. According to Abdulrahman, initially we arrested 8 people, and additional 3 have been arrested. More facts are coming out. We want to do the needful before taking the suspect to court. There's another one I want to read, please. Just one again I want to read. In addition to that. Now, I want you to listen to this document. The same document, the same claim El-Rufai made. This is what the police commissioner said. Kajuri killings, police disown casualty figure. Announced by El-Rufai. This is Daily Times, February 22, 2018, on the same thing. He said the Kaduna State Commissioner of Police, Ahmed Abdurrahman, had disowned both figures announced by Governor Nasir El-Rufai as casualties in Jidam Maro and the Aziz of Kajuri local government of Kaduna State. Mr. Abdurrahman said the police are still investigating and would quote or confirm any figure and won't quote or confirm any figure until their probe is concluded. What does that tell you? Before it was even concluded, El-Rufai already know the people that were killed and how they were killed, not from the police, though, and he said he obtained their report. He obtained the report. Now, Mr. Abdurrahman said the police are still investigating and won't quote or confirm any figure until their probe is concluded. At first announcement on February 15, 2019, Mr. El-Rufai said 66 people were killed by criminal elements in various dispersed hamlets in Kajuru local government. The army also confirmed the 66 deaths. In another announcement, after an extensive meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari and service chiefs on February 19, the governor said the death toll has risen to 130, which means it was Buhari and the service chief that manufactured this figure. I'm still continuing with the report. Mr. El-Rufai first and second claim were followed by criticism by some people who raised doubts about the figure. One of such criticism came from the senator representing the district. What I found out about the killing is that it happened between Sunday and Monday. The figures for the deaths are within the range of 10 to 15. The state government exaggerated the figure and also timed the announcement of it in view of the fact that the place is remote and beyond the reach of many journalists. Premium time journalists visited the scene of the killing of the on Wednesday and on Thursday, some clarification from the commission. Mr. Abdul Rahman neither confirmed nor denied the governor's report. He said the police has no hand in arriving at them. I hope you are listening. Right now, if the governor tells you even 200, he's just quoting figures. It may be more than that or less than that. For example, the arrest you have visited, where we were told that 36 bodies were buried. It was not under the purview of the security at the beginning of the investigation until when the Fulani victims themselves came out crying after we have secured all